Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. This is part 3 of Celestial Bodies, Sun and Moon X Reader by the Ruby Quill. This is chapter 5, Showtime. Okay. And then, are you guys ready? I am ready. Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay. Let's get into chapter 5, Showtime. Isaac showed you the way to get to the main entrance from the daycare. You pulled out your security badge, which doubles as your time card, and click out. I'll walk you to your car, Isaac says, as you and him walk to the front of the doors. It was dark out, and the night air was slightly cold. You'd had to remember to bring a jacket next time. As you start to slightly shiver, you feel Isaac put his coat on your shoulders. It was much bigger than you, but it felt cozy being wrapped up in a jacket. You can borrow this for tonight. Just give it back to me tomorrow, he chuckled. Don't want you catching a cold. His kind gesture made you blush a little bit, although you tried and hide the fact. As you got to your car, you turned around to face Isaac. Thank you for everything today. I was worried after meeting Vanessa that I wouldn't get along with anyone. You explained, twiddling your fingers. Vanessa can be a bit aggressive, he sighed. But once you get to know her, she's not too bad. We'll see, you mumble. Isaac watches you get into your car before he goes to leave. You wave him goodbye, and he does so too, before starting your car. You look up one last time at the Pizzaplex before pulling out of the parking lot. You had a long day, but you were excited to come back tomorrow. Driving home, you picked up something cheap to eat, starting to get hungry since it was past dinner time. One thing you didn't realize was how long the shifts would be at your new job. After eating your food, you felt yourself start to get tired, so you decided it was time to go to bed. You slipped into a pair of your favorite pajamas before going into your bedroom. You remembered the candy gifted before. You decided to try the moondrop candy this time. Even though you didn't need help sleeping, the flavor of the candy was delicious. Almost a grape flavor, but not too artificial. As you ate the candy and laid down on your bed, you felt your eyes get heavier. Soon you drifted into a deep sleep. You slowly wake up, rubbing your eyes as you sit up in bed. You find it odd that you didn't hear your alarm clock going off next to you, so you take a look at your nightstand. You're shocked to see the time is 7:45. You had completely overslept past your alarm. Nearly falling, you rush out of bed and throw on your clothes. You throw a comb into your purse as you don't have time to do your hair at home. Skipping breakfast, you're about to leave your apartment when you remember Isaac's coat. You grab it while running out the door. You probably broke at least 5 traffic laws, frantically trying to get to work. Pulling into the Pizzaplex parking lot, you grab your belongings along with the jacket and run inside. Your phone says it's 8:25 a.m. Past opening, although there's barely anyone inside the Plex. You sprint to the daycare, although you hope to see on your way there Isaac so you can give him back his jacket. Unfortunately, you don't see him at all by the time you reach the big double doors of the daycare. You'll have to find him later. Opening the entrance, you run into the room, thankfully seeing no children have showed up yet. You've seen Sundrop sitting atop the play structure, swinging his legs over the side, with a sad expression on his face. Sorry I'm late, you yelled up to him. Hearing your voice, Sundrop immediately perks up and looks at you before flashing a huge smile. He jumps down from atop the play area and runs over to you. You're shocked as he gives you a huge hug and gives you a small spin. Sunshine, oh how I missed you, he exclaimed. I thought you weren't gonna come back. I overslept my alarm. I'm sorry for being late. It won't happen again, you explain. It'll be our little secret, replies Sundrop. Sundrop's Sundrop lets you out of the hug and notices Isaac's jacket around your arm. You can't help but stare at it while you feel a bit embarrassed and awkward. Isaac gave me his jacket to borrow last night since it was cold, and I didn't have one, you nervously explained. He doesn't say anything in reply, but you can see the gears turning in his head as if he was thinking something. You shyly look away from him and say, I'm going to get changed before the kids show up. I'll be back in a few minutes. You scrambled off into the employees-only area as Sundrop watches you walk away. His gaze making you feel slightly self-conscious, but you try and shake off the feeling as you throw on your costume. Walking back out, you hear screams of joy as kids start going down the slide. You see Sun playing with them at the ball pit as you go and greet the children as they come. They each seem excited to see you, joyfully yelling your name and giving you hugs before they run off to play. It's not long, maybe an hour or two, before the daycare is packed with little kids running around. You take a look at the schedule and see today in the morning there's a puppet show scheduled. Son, why don't you get ready for the show and I'll gather the kids? You say, walking over to him. He gets visibly excited and replies, Okay, Sunshine, I'm so excited for you to see my show. He places a hook that comes down from the ceiling and goes up to the castle in the cloud set. You're a bit left in awe of him flying with the hook, but you figured it made sense since he had to get up there somehow. Okay, everyone, it's time for the puppet show, you yelled as the kids scrambled to sit to the seating area for the show. As soon as all the kids arrived, you decided to sit down with the children to watch the show with them. A child sits near your lap as you look up and see the curtains rise from the stage set. You see two puppets come down from the ceiling with strings attached to them. You can only assume Sundrop is above controlling them. You hear his voice talk as the puppets start to act, each one having a unique voice. Just as with the story time yesterday, you're left a bit in awe of how good of a storyteller Sun is. The way he moves the puppets, the way he acts out the dialogue, it's very entertaining. You find yourself enthralled into the story of the show. The story is about a princess who gets kidnapped by a wicked wizard and a heroic knight has to save her. The wizard takes the princess to his tower, but the knight follows them and kicks down the wizard's door. Sword in hand, the knight and the wizard fight. With the knight becoming the victor, the princess throws herself into the knight's arms, and they run off into the sunset. The puppets do a bow, and Sundrop drops from the top of the stage and gives a similar bow. He then looks down to the audience. All the kids give us applause, but he's waiting to see what you would do. The puppet show was amazing, you think, as you see him clap loudly yourself. Seeing that you enjoyed the show, he smiled widely. He hops down from the stage, and the children swarm him, causing him to fall over. The scene makes you giggle. I hope you like the show, Sunshine, he cheerfully asks. Oh, yes, it was wonderful, you replied back as he gets off the ground. You're such an amazing storyteller. You see a bit of color disorientation in his cheeks, almost as if he was blushing. He quickly shakes his head, causing his face to go back to normal. I'm glad you like it. He starts to say. He sheepishly looks down to the ground. I wanted to make sure you were impressed, he finishes. You nervously laugh at his comment, unsure of how to reply. Let's see what's next on the schedule, you say under your breath as you go to the daycare desk. although you find yourself holding your breath as you look at the time. Noon. You knew what the schedule would say. Nap time. You felt yourself tense up. Subconsciously, you rub your neck where Moon, the day before, had put his hands. A slight shiver goes down your spine as you recall the feeling of his hands around your throat. Maybe, you start to say as you turn to Sundrop, who's looking at you in the moment. Maybe Moon can watch the children during nap time, and I can take my break. His smile falters a bit, and you see his eyes twitching once more, like it did yesterday with Isaac. He doesn't say anything for a few minutes, although looking into his eyes, you feel although he's having some kind of internal conversation in his head. He stares at you with somewhat intensity, causing you to feel self-conscious. Soon, though, he snaps out of thinking and gives you a small smile. He'll take care of things, Sundrop says as he puts his hand over your shoulder, trying to reassure you. You start to prepare the children for nap time, helping them find spots to sleep along with tucking them in, although you feel dread as you inch closer to the time to turn off the lights. You feel a sense of content helping the kids settle down. Soon, although, all the children have been dealt with and the time to turn off the light dawn. Soon though, all the children have been dealt with and the time turn the lights out dawns. You felt hesitant, almost debating on whether or not to skip nap time, but you knew that you couldn't do that every day and that it wasn't fair to the children. I'm going to go hide, Sundrop sheepishly says, looking to the floor, to give you a head start. It makes your chest feel tight as he says that. The fact you need a head start. You nod, not saying anything, a silent thank you as he walks away to the play structure. Your hands hover over the light switch. You find it hard to bring yourself to press the button. It's as if your body's screaming not to, but you steady your resolve and flip the switch. Immediately you grab the flashlight from before again as the lights go out, quickly turning it on so you can see. You start to run for the big double doors when you're reminded of Isaac's jacket hanging in your locker. A part of you thinks about just forgetting it, but you wanted to make sure you returned it to him. As quickly as you can, you run into the employees only area. You can hear Sun in the distance wreathing in what you can only assume is pain from the from the sound of it. Grabbing the jacket from your locker, you just as quickly go back to the daycare, but it's eerily quiet. You feel the goosebumps on your body rise as you start to sprint towards the double doors, praying you make it before Moon gets to you. Just as you're a few feet away from the doors, you hear a familiar deep chuckle and the sound of bells jingling. Moon jumps from above in front of you. Unable to react in time, you run into him and fall backwards onto the ground. Your flashlight is knocked from your hands and lands on the floor. It's too dark to see anything, but you stare up into Moon's glowing red eyes. He stares back. Then suddenly he steps onto the small flashlight, crushing it beneath him, plunging you completely into darkness. He towers over you. You feel terrified, shaking on the floor. Where are you going, Starshine? He half chuckles, half growls at you. You swallowed your fear as you try and steady your resolve. You're so close to the door. If you could just get around him. You see his legs are parted slightly as he starts to bend down to your level. You take this moment to rush under him. He tries to grab your ankle, but you're too fast to make it through his legs before he can grab you. He lets out a deep, raspy growl, snapping to turn around to you. But you don't look back and quickly swing the doors open enough for you to squeeze through and exit the daycare. No! You hear faintly from the other side of the door as you shut it. You take a breath of relief, happy that you are able to escape from Moon's grasp, although you're worried about when you have to eventually come back. Taking a deep breath, you take a moment to rest and catch your breath before starting your way to the main area of the Pizzaplex. You weren't sure how to find Isaac, but you hoped going to the busiest area you might find him. You walk past numerous children and their parents as you go through the building. As you get to the main auditorium, you left in shock and awe by the grandness of the room. It was large, really large. There were entrances to different attractions around the walls on each of the floors, along with numerous restaurants, games, and large pizza counters, and a huge stage in the back of the room. Many children were running around, although most gathered around the big stage. Soon the lights dimmed a bit, and a voice came over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment would like for you to put your hands together for the one, the only, Freddy Fazbear, the voice announced. Soon the stage lights turned on and fog erupted from the ground as four animatronics rose from the middle of the stage. A bear, a, an alligator, a chicken, and a fox, all wearing vague 80s themed rock star attire. They started to play their instruments as they played a rock song. The children were going wild, yelling and clapping as they did so. You found yourself a bit enthralled by the performance as the animatronics sang and played their instruments. You were glued to the stage as they went to their set. You didn't realize how long you'd been there until they played their last song and the lights came back on. All the children cheered and clapped as the animatronics did a bow and left to go backstage. What are you doing out here? You you hear from behind as a hand is placed on your shoulder. You yelp in shock as you spin around facing Isaac. In response, he gives you a chuckle, seeing you got scared by him. Surprised to see you. Surprised to see me, aren't you? Wait, surprised to see me. Aren't you supposed to be in the daycare? He asked, amused. You laugh nervously as you gently take his hand off your shoulder. I went on my break as the kids are doing nap time right now. I wanted to come give you your jacket back. He looks down at your arm where you've been holding his jacket. He smiles at you, almost with a smirk. That's kind of you to come find me, he replies as you hand him his jacket. He looks up at the clock on the wall and sees it's almost been an hour since you left the kids with Moon. You feel a bit guilty leaving them all alone with him, but you feel like Moon wouldn't do anything to hurt the children. Besides, he was doing nap time before you started working there, so you're sure he can handle things. You hear a loud commotion come from the floor above you, as you hear a few kids and parents start yelling at each other. Isaac gives an annoyed groan as his face palms his forehead. I gotta go deal with whatever the hell is going on up there. Here, I'll let you go to the backstage area. There's some employee hallways that make shortcuts to the daycare. You follow him backstage to the backstage door as he uses his security badge to open the door. Thank you. That was very kind of you. Are you sure it's okay for me to go back there? You say as he holds the door open for you. It's no problem. You work here anyways. If someone gives you trouble, just say you're the assistant daycare attendant and that Isaac let you back here to go to the daycare, he says as he assures you. You give him a shy smile and walk through the door. He closes it behind you, and you're left on your own in an unfamiliar area. There's a signage on one of the walls, so you go over to it and try to find the path to daycare. There's a map on the wall, so you find where you are and where the daycare is. You take a mental note of how the diagram shows how to get to the daycare so you don't get lost. As you turn around, you suddenly feel a hand slap the wall next to your head as you become face to face with the gator animatronic from before. So I am going to leave it on a cliffhanger because I am just evil like that. And I really do hope you guys enjoyed that. Um, I'm sorry. I stuttered a little bit in that. Um, I try my best. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one chapter fan fiction. Please go check out this book. It is on Wattpad. Please go check it out. Go give some love to the Ruby Quill. They deserve it. But I hope you guys really do like this fan fiction. Please go like and subscribe and hit the bell notifications to get more books just like this or more chapters just like this. Support my channel and everything I do and leave a comment down below if you like this. I'll see you guys in the next one.